be showing you 10 Linux commands that you need to know as you are starting with Linux. So these commands will help you to perform certain tasks and move throughout the terminal. So without wasting much of the time, we can get started. So first thing you'd want to do is to navigate to your terminal. So meaning just open up your terminal. Okay, mine is open. Okay, so now the first thing or the first command that we're going to look at is ls, which means list. So if I type in ls, then I press enter, so I'm just telling it list everything that is in the home directory. So if you see this sign here, I don't know what it's called, that means we're in the home directory. Okay, so now if we use the ls command, okay, so we're just simply meaning list. So it gave us a list of all the directories. If there are files in here, it would have shown us the files. Okay, so now yes, we've seen how to display stuff which are in a certain directory. So what next? So then we would use a command which is cd, which is change directory. So meaning now there we're trying to navigate to let me just make this smaller. I want to be showing you something side by side. Okay, so here I'm in the home directory, which is showing all these files. Okay, so I'll be doing stuff from the graphical user interface and on the terminal, so that you see that everything is just the same. Okay, so now if I go on my home, okay, so now if you check my home directory, everything that is here, that's what you'll find there. Okay, so now if I click on desktop like that, these are the files on my desktop. How do I do that on the terminal? So now that's where the cd command comes in, which is cd change directory. So we're changing directory to what? And mind you, Linux is case sensitive, like especially stuff on the terminal. So you have to write it the way it is. So if it's a capital letter, first letter, just make sure that it's first letter. So, or it's capital. So now if we go to our desktop, we want to go to our desktop as we did here, we would say cd space then desktop, the way it's written. Okay, desktop, like that. Okay, so if you feel like you don't know what the correct spelling or how it's written, use the ls command to display all the information in that directory. Then you'll be able to see what the actual spelling is. So now if I press enter, okay, you won't see anything. Why? It has moved. If you check, it moved from the home directory to desktop. So I'm in the desktop directory. So meaning home / / desktop. Okay, so meaning we're in our desktop, but how do we see what's on the desktop? We use our ls command. Okay, so if I like ls enter, it will bring out everything that is under that directory, which is the same thing which is here. Lazy else script, which is lazy script, which is that one. I've got Sherlock, I've got Stormbreaker, I've got email scraper, I've got output.txt. So the same files which are here, they're the same files which are here. Okay, So now, yes, we are in this directory, but what can we do if we wanted to go back like that? We want to go back to our home directory, or we want to go back to our desktop, sorry. Okay, so we want to come out from our desktop, we want to go back to our home directory. What do? This is where now this command, you'll be using this command quite a lot, which is the same as back in the terminal. So you would say cd change directory dot dot, okay, so that is telling it move one step backwards. Okay, so we're moving back from where we came from. So if I press enter, you would see I'm no longer in the desktop, I'm now in the home directory. So if you want to see, so if let's say you want to see which directory you are on, like which directory you are in at the moment, you can use the command pwd like that. Okay, so that command means print working directory, so print the directory that I'm in at the moment. So when you press enter, it will show you that I'm in the home directory. So this is that's my user for my account, so I'm still in the main home directory. Okay, so now if I say ls, this is list, to list what is in our desktop. Mind you, we have not left the desktop, we're still in the desktop. This command just helped us to output where we are exactly, the location of where we are. Okay, if I press enter, you'd see the same thing which you're seeing here, it's the same thing you're seeing there. Okay, so so far we've looked at cd, meaning change directory. It helps us to move from one place to another, meaning it helps us to change directories. Yes, we've looked at list, which is ls, list, to list everything that is in a certain directory that we are in. We've also looked at cd dot dot, so this helps you to navigate back one step. If you want to move 2 steps back, you would use the same command, which is cd space dot dot forward slash dot dot. So what that would do is it will move back 2 steps. Okay, so if I press enter now, you see now I'm no longer in the home directory, I'm in the root directory. So meaning I'm now where ls, this is where you find all your system files. So I've passed the home directory, so I'm in now system files there. Okay, so if you don't know what you're doing, I would suggest you don't play too much in this directory. For you, deleting something which is important might cause your system to go off, or to misbehave to a point where you have to format, or you might lose your data, because once you delete something, it's gone. Okay, so I'll just say cd. So if I want, I can use this what's this symbol. Okay, so what that symbol will do is just going to take me back to our home directory. Press enter. Okay, ls, it will take us back to our home directory. So you don't need to type in cd or home, because that will do it for you, or yeah, that will do it for you. Okay, so that's how you do back. Okay, so now as you can see, we've made quite a mess on the terminal here. So how do we clear all this information? Like, how do we make our workspace clean again? Okay, so we use a very simple command, which is clear. What this would do is it will remove everything which is here. It will just clean our terminal for us. Okay, so if I press enter, you would see it will just clear everything for us like that. Okay, or you can use a shortcut key, of which I'll give you in the bonus round, the shortcut key. Okay, so that will be our bonus for the day. I'll show you how to clear the terminal using a shortcut. Okay, so there are certain applications or certain things that we need to do in the terminal or in the system as Linux in general, where we would need administrative privileges. So in Windows you would say run as administrator, yes, but in Kali or in any other Linux terminal or any Linux machine, you would run as root. Okay, so what does it mean to run as root? So meaning if you run as root is the same thing as running as Windows as administrator. So meaning it will give you certain privileges that uh, nothing no other person can have. So meaning you have full power over the system. Okay, so I would give you a quick example. Let's see, you've seen this folder is showing locked, so meaning I created that folder using root, meaning I was the administrator in short. So no one can just come and delete it. Let's say, let me show you. Delete. So you see, could not delete file, version that, okay, error removing, so permission denied. So meaning for me to delete this file, I have to run as root, or I have to log in as root to remove that. Okay, so I'll demonstrate what I've done here but using the terminal, so meaning me trying to delete any of this file. Okay, so now if I say ls, okay, list, we want to go to our desktop, so I'll say cd desktop. Okay, ls again to see what's in the so now if I say, if you want to delete something, now this is where this command comes in. Okay, this is where the command remove comes in. Okay, which is rm. Okay, so rm is used to remove stuff. Okay, so if I say rm, okay, the name of the file I want to delete, okay, space l script, okay, like that. If I press enter, you see can't remove l script is a directory. Okay, so if you use rm to remove stuff, if it's only rm, you can only remove certain files, like just files. Okay, but if it's so let me demonstrate. Let's create I'll show you how to create files using the terminal as well. So I'll just say create folder, I'll say test. Okay, so we want to delete this test. Okay, so the way we can just continue because we are still on the desktop. Okay, so I'd say list to see what's on the desktop. Now we have our test here. So if I say remove, rm test, it will refuse. Why? I'm removing a directory. So if you're removing a directory or you want to delete a directory, that's where rm dash remove dash r comes in. So now we just need to continue and say, so if you use the up and down keys, you can scroll through your list of commands that you've run since the time you started. Okay, so I'd say remove tests. Okay, so here before I would say remove space dash r test. Okay, so now we're removing the test. So now if we press enter, you'd see it has disappeared from here, and when we say ls, it's no longer here. We've managed to remove it. So if you are removing a directory or you're deleting a directory, you use a remove -r, then the name of the file you want, the directory you want to remove. Okay, so now let's try to run this same command, but to try to delete this file which is showing that it's locked here. Okay, again I'll use my up arrows to just scroll through what commands we used, okay, so that I don't type in everything. Okay, so now we want to remove else script, so we would say rm dash r. We want to remove else script, so we would say l script like that. Okay, press enter. It will tell us the same thing, descent into right protected directory. So meaning it's refused, it's saying this directory is protected, we can't delete it. So this is the advantage of using root to create files that you wouldn't want just any random person to delete. So that protects the file. They can open the file, they can see what's in the file, but they can delete the file. So this protects, they can't remove anything from here. So this helps to protect your files. Okay, now for the bonus tip in terms of clearing the terminal, you just need to press Control, then L, Control C out of that. Okay, so if we say, so Control C is just the same as saying cancel. Okay, so we want to cancel out what is running. So this was like running, so that's why I use Control C to cancel that. Okay, to terminate the process. So now for that bonus tip, the one I said that I'm going to show you how to clear the terminal using a shortcut. So you just need to press Control L on your keyboard, so that's Control clear as well. So that's a shortcut of, instead of you typing clear on the terminal, you can just say Control L and then it will clear it for you. Okay, let's move forward. Now let's create a text file. Okay, we want to create a text file on the desktop. You know, on the graphical user interface, you would go and say create document. Okay, and then empty file. Okay, what's the name of the file? We'll say test test1. Okay, and say create. Boom, you have a file created. Okay, so inside this file, okay, just hold on. Yeah, open with, okay, so it's opening. Okay, so now inside this file, I'm just using this is a code editor, but for you to open a text document, so I'll say this is a test, and I'll show you how we're going to use to also put in files like this on the terminal. Okay, so now I've done Control S, that's saved. I can exit. Okay, so we have this file here, which is test1. Let's create test2 using the terminal. Okay, ls, let's make sure we're on the desktop. Okay, we're on the desktop. Okay, so now we want to create a file. How do we create a file? You use a command touch like that. Okay, so touch is just the same as create a document or create a file. So it's in other ways, in simpler terms, I would say touch is the same as saying create a file, and then you give it a file name. So if you say create file, which is touch, space, what's the file name? Test2. Okay, enter. Okay, so you've seen what has happened. We've managed to create this file which is test2. Okay, but there is a better. So touch will help you create files like the way I did here. Okay, now let's copy what's in. So let's say ls. Okay, let's copy what is written in test1. We copy it to test2. Okay, so now we'll use cp like that. Okay, copy text, copy test 1 2. So space to what are we copying it to? So if we say to, let me see if I'm correct, test 2, press enter. Okay, ls like that. Okay, so now let's see what's in test2. Okay, so for us to check what's in this command, in this document, so for us to view this, okay, let me open it using the graphical. Okay, it's just loading. So it is blank at the moment, it's blank. Okay, yeah, so I'll show you how to correctly copy files to that. Okay, so first let's do that. Okay, so would say cp test, but instead of doing it that way, we have to specify where this file is located. So if you want, you could do this for properties. Okay, sorry, properties. So that's where it's located. Okay, so copy that. Okay, so now usually once you're good with this, you won't be doing it like this, because you'll usually be using the terminal, so you have to know where each file is located. Okay, so meaning it has to be, if you're on your desktop, it's in your home directory. This is the username, so it's like a user account, like the way you have a user account in Windows. So we are saying home directory on that user on the desktop. So now that's where this file is located. Okay, then we'll do the same thing here. So if you want to paste something on terminal, you don't use control C or you don't use control C for copy. You can use that, but in terms of pasting, you don't use control V. So let me show you what control V does. Control V. Okay, now if I say backspace, you see it adds hidden characters to your what you are writing. So if you want to use the shortcuts, you have to press Control Shift then V. That's when it will paste that whatever is on your clipboard. Okay, so now we've specified the location of the file, but we didn't tell it to which file it has to copy those files to. Okay, so now we would say / again test 2. Okay, enter. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, up arrow. Okay, we're copying the file to our desktop. Okay, sorry. Let's see what am I missing here. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Okay, so let's see. So let's view what's in the file first. Let's view what's in the file. So to view what's is on a file, you use the cat command. Okay, So cat means view in Linux. Okay, space, what do we want to view? Test one. Okay, press enter. Wait, ls. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, sorry. Yeah, now that's the problem that I was having. I didn't pay attention to this, so it was complaining that it doesn't know about this because there's a space there. So remember what I said, Linux is case sensitive and it wants to get what's there, like the exact values. Okay, so try these commands once again, but let's view what's in the test first. Okay, so you'd use the same command cat, then space one. Okay, what's that now? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, okay. So the reason why it's failing it's because it doesn't consider this to be one thing, so it's only getting the test. Okay, so you have to make sure that most of the time when creating, if you see, that's why it has put it in strings, because it's telling us that that's one thing. Okay, so now if I want to access that, now if I say cat, okay, two strings like that, then I say test one, enter. Okay, you see, so now, so it's good to run into errors, so it will help you read what you're doing. Okay, so now since I told it that this is one thing, that's why it's showing us there that that's one thing, so it managed to say what's on the file. Okay, so now if we use our command, this one, we should be able to copy what's here to there. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, I'll use the up arrows to just go get back what I have. So I'll just put this test one in a string. Okay, so in quotes. Okay, sorry, space there, we put in a quote there. Okay, space the directory to where we're going to paste that. So now we want to paste that in test 2. Enter, done. Okay, so now let me explain this part. Cp meaning copy what's in this file to this directory, so to this text 2. Okay, so now if we say ls, okay, then we say cat meaning view test 2, you see what's in test 2. So we told this command, which is here, cp test 1, so we told it copy the contents in this file, then paste it in this location, so meaning in that file there. Okay, that's why we have this. So it's the same thing as if I try to open that now, you would see we'll have exactly the content which is in the other file. Okay, which is this. Okay, so now let's say we want to write to this file. Okay, we want to write to that file there, so we want to also add this. After this is a test for, we'll add for beginners there. All right, so now how do we edit that? So how do we open an editor? So it's this, the command I'm going to show you now will help you to add stuff to a file or write to a file. It's a very simple command which is called, it's a nano editor. So if I say nano space the file name, which is test2, enter. Okay, so you've seen what has happened. I now have that file here. So now I can easily edit this, saying this is a test for beginners. Okay, so now how do you save? So if you read down here, okay, so if we say control O, that will write to this file. Okay, then we have to press enter, then we can press control X to exit. Okay, so now if we use our previous command, which is cut that file, we want to cut what we want to see what's written in that file. Okay, so if you've seen me move this fast, like don't think I'm typing, I'm just using shortcuts. So remember the down, up and down arrow keys will help you navigate through the commands you've already done. So if you know it's close by, you can just use the arrow keys instead of typing. Okay, we cut that, and then you see we wrote to that file. Okay, but let's say you want to create a file and add stuff to the file instead of creating the file first, then opening the code, the editor to edit what's in the file. You can create a file and edit the file at the same time using the same nano command, but this time we have to, let's say we want to create a new file which is test3. Okay, so we would say nano test 3. Okay, so if I say enter, it will create the file for me which is test3, but it will also allow me to add content to it. This is how to add contents. Okay, so now the same thing again, you use the command at the bottom. So control O to write to the file, control O, press enter, and control X to exit, or you can use this other shortcut. Okay, so let's say we add something to the file. This is how you add content to a file in Linux. Okay, so now I have added something else. Instead of me saying control O to write to the file, I can just go there saying control X. Okay, it will ask me, do I want to save? Okay, so which is also a shortcut you would use. So if I say Y yes, okay, I've managed to save that. Okay, control C, control X. Okay, sorry, control C, yeah, control X, so Y to save, then enter to exit. Okay, so now if we do the same command, which is cut test, okay, now this time we say it's test3. Okay, so we created test3. I'll just change that to test3. You see it will give us the same thing. So a recap again. Okay, so we go back to the commands we've used. So I use control L to clear the screen. So we've looked at a lot of things. We've looked at nano, which is nano to create files and edit them. Okay, I'll just cancel, I'll just close this, control X, no, enter. Okay, so we used the command nano to create and edit files. Okay, we use the command touch to only create a file, and we used nano again to edit or add content to the file. Okay, we've also looked at let's see, cat, which is the same. Cat meaning concatenate. Okay, that's what it means. So it just means to view the content of what you want to view. Let's see, what else did we look at? We also saw that every time a file is put in strings like that, or is put in quotes, meaning you are just telling it that this is one word. So the time we tried to paste the content to this file, it said it didn't find that. Why? Because it thought this is only one word, with this is also one word, or this is something else and that is something else. Okay, so yeah, if you made a mistake, or let's say in your file you added a space, if you want to access that file, just put it in quotes. Okay, so then after we said cp, we use cp as well, which is copy. Okay, copy for content. Okay, now we are going to look at something which is the opposite of copy, meaning move. Okay, move what's in here, take it to there. Okay, so if we use our graphical user interface here, if I open test2, we would find this is a test for beginners. Okay, let's move whatever is in test 2 and move it to test 3. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, mind you, remember this is our path, the one we are going to use. Okay, so let's get started. ls ls to show where we are and what files are there. So we want to copy what's in here, or want to move what's in here and put it there. Okay, so how do we do that? We use a mv command, move command. We are moving the file. Okay, we are moving the file. So mv meaning move. Okay, so we say move test to where are we moving it to. So we specify the path where we're moving it to. Okay, which is home / so for you here there might be your name or curly there, I don't know, depending on your user. Okay, so if you can see here, my username is Killer there, so that's why it's showing me that. Okay, and then desktop. Okay, / where are we pasting it to? We want to put it in test 3. Okay, press enter. Boom. Where is test 2? Test 2 has gone. Where is test 2? Okay, so what we did with that command is we told it move this file into this file. Okay, so move this into that. So now if we say cut test 3, okay, we want to see what's in test 3. Okay, we would see what? That this is a test for beginners, because we moved the content that was in test 2 and replaced it in test 3. Okay, hope you are following. Okay, quick recap again. Okay, quick recap. So we've looked at the following commands, which is cd, meaning change directory. We've looked at ls, meaning list. Okay. We've looked at move, which is moving files from one place to another. We've looked at remove, which is removing files, and remove dash r to remove a directory. Okay. We've also looked at cat, meaning concatenate, to view files. Okay, so those are the files we want to view. Okay, we've used touch to create a file. Okay, that's what we used. We also looked at control plus L, or which is equal to clear. So control plus L is the same as typing clear on the keyboard or on the terminal to clear your terminal. We've also looked at nano. This is our text editor, the one we use to create files and edit files on the terminal. We've also looked at what's this? Control plus shift plus V to paste. Since in Linux you don't just press Control V, you have to use Control Shift V to paste. Now that's a shortcut. We've also looked at pwd, meaning print working directory. So that's also one command we've used in this video. And the other most important command that we looked at was cd ... which is equivalent or equal to back in the graphical world. Okay, so those are some of the commands we've looked at as well. Okay, but I didn't show you how to create a folder. Okay, so that will be our last command of the day. So how do we create a folder? I showed you how to create it here. We just say create folder. Okay, in the terminal, that's not a folder, it's called a directory. Okay, so now if I erase all these commands here, okay, how do we create a directory, or how do we create a folder? Okay, so we are creating a folder on our desktop. Okay, so to create a folder, you use the command mkdir, okay, which is mkdir. Now what does that mean? Okay, that means mk means make, and then dir means directory. So make directory, or in layman's term you would say create folder. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so here we're simply saying create the folder code what. Okay, so we'll say create a folder code training. Okay, enter, boom, we have it immediately there. We've created a folder named training. So if we want to add stuff to this folder called training that we've created, ls to c, okay, this is our folder there. So you would say cd, you have to first cd into the directory, which is let's see, how did I write it? Yeah, okay, training. Okay, now once you are list, you see there's nothing in it. So now once you're in this directory, you can add a folder or create a file or whatever it is that you want to do. So let's say we want to create a demo file. We would say touch space file name. Okay, what are we creating? The file would say tr1. Enter. Okay, so now if we open this, we'll find our tr1 file there. Okay, so Control L. Okay, so we've looked at I was planning to show you 10 commands, but I think we've looked at more than 10. So if you feel like you have any other questions or there's something that you'd want me to explain again in details, feel free to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video so that I can continue creating content like this. Thank you for watching and stay.